a Trump Super PAC came out with an ad, and I gotta say, when the story came out about Ron DeSantis eating pudding with his fingers, I didn't really care that much, right? It's weird, but we already know he's a psycho. I mean, he was a boarding school teacher going to parties with underage kids, it seems like, in town, and just by the way
least of his
talks,
crimes.
Yeah, he just signed a 6-week abortion ban in his state, so I'm not that concerned about pudding fingers. But for Trump, like, this is exactly what he wants to engage in. It's a mud fight. It's perfect for him. So a super PAC, you know, they're technically unaffiliated with Trump, but I would guess that they kind of know what he wants out there. Put out an ad about Mr. Pudding Fingers Meatball Run, and trigger warning, if you don't like seeing disgusting eating in slow motion, you might not want to watch this.
I was just going to say, it's aesthetically displeasing.
Yes.
I'm sad we can't hear it, but okay.
We're getting to it.
Oh, I think here we go.
Oy.
Ron DeSantis loves sticking his fingers where they don't belong.
No.
And we're not just talking about pudding. DeSantis has his dirty fingers all over senior entitlements, like cutting Medicare, slashing Social Security, even raising our retirement age. Tell Ron DeSantis to keep his pudding fingers off our money. Oh, can somebody get this man a spoon?
Make America Great Again Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
So artistically, I gotta say, that was wonderfully done.
It's a classic ad.
The chocolate pudding looks like, you know, something else. So I think that adds to the disgust. The messy, I mean, it's you have a baby, you understand.
I'm not saying Ron DeSantis eats doo-doo, but doesn't he?
He does.
Like,
can you confirm that's pudding, or is it shit? Is it
looks like
diarrhea
doo-doo
in
to
a
me.
cup?
Also, I feel like the sticking his fingers where he doesn't belong is like almost defamatory. Like, I feel like they're implying something much more than just pudding in Social Security with that line of inquiry.
Yes. Look, that ad, like, I'm MAGA now after watching that ad, straight up. Like, that was a brilliant, beautiful ad. And yeah, I saw that he ate pudding with his fingers, and I was like, I guess that mimics a fork. And that is if you have, like, you know, dainty little lady fingers like me, you know, but, or like, you know, small, or like, you know, I was like, oh, okay, I guess. Like, just the, like, watching, like, giant man hands just, like, scoop out pudding is absolutely disgusting. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's terrifying. Get that man away from office.
The act of having something on your hands that's not a solid or like a liquid water running through it, it's kind of in the middle. It's like when your sink, you're cleaning dishes and like a bunch of food collects on the side of the sink and you have to scoop it up.
And you
with
eat
your
it,
hands. Yeah. I mean, we all do that.
So
it's called leftovers, and it's called being environmentally conscious.
Absolutely.
Bitch. Anyway, so like, I mean, that's what that's like. That's what freaks me out about it the most. It's the in between. It's this in between the solid and the liquid. I don't want that near my hands, let alone in like being scooped through with my fingers into my mouth.
I also appreciate that they simultaneously made a policy-based argument out of this, like that he like wants to cut the social safety net, but at the end is like, use a spoon, you goddamn freak.
Yeah.
If you're gonna cut Social Security for the elderly, at least use a spoon. Do it in one fell swoop, just not piecemeal, like we're gonna do.
Dignity. Yeah,
hide it in the budget instead of being open about it. Well, deny it, but then do it.
That's what's incredible, though, because when Trump was in office, I know that McConnell and co. wanted to there's nothing more foundational to the Republican Party more than cutting Social Security and Medicare, like cutting social programs, also cutting food stamps. That's part of it, too. But that's a little easier to do because you can just poke the old welfare queen trope, and then it's also not universal program, so you're not going to get the same backlash because it's for poor people and they need it.
Of course.
But they always try hardest when it's a Democrat in office, and Trump knows this. Why? Because they want the Democrat to own it because these positions are so popular. And so, like, DeSantis has gone through the old school ranks of the Republican Party, Club for Growth guy. He's a true believer about cutting Social Security and Medicare. can't say it publicly, but Trump knows that, and he's putting him in a bind about it. It's genius.
I think so too. This is the one issue where I'm like, they should absolutely fight over it. And then, the last dark Brandon moment we had was the State of the Union address, where Biden got them to all swear that they would not cut Social Security or Medicare. And like, okay, you sure? And they're like, no, hell no, right? And so you're like, okay, we're going to bring those receipts. But I mean, this is why, Trump, he doesn't have to have a plan to not cut it. He could make sure that the budget ensures that there is no more Social Security and that there will be cuts, right? And Medicare as well. He could do all those things, but in sort of like openly, he's saying, I'm never going to cut Social Security. I wouldn't do that to Medicare. I believe in healthcare for everyone. I don't have a plan. Of course I don't have a plan. But I believe in it. Vote for me. It's like the one semi-honestly populist thing that he has, the edge that he has over DeSantis.
Yeah, I mean, if my pitch would be to any voter who is making a decision based on these ads or DeSantis' stance here, it's like, just vote for a Democrat, because these are not individual actors acting with their own set of incentives. They're all within the Republican Party. And so, like,
right.
No matter what Trump says now, if he were to get into office again, God forbid, the people pushing DeSantis to cut Social Security and Medicare would still be there pushing Trump to do it. He'd be better equipped to resist it, because I don't think he has an ideological commitment to it. But at the same time, like, that's the risk you're taking when you vote for a Republican. Vote for a Democrat instead. How about that?
Yeah. Yep. I just have to say, now I really want to see Amy Klobuchar or someone reenact Amy Klobuchar eating a salad with a comb.
Far less disgusting than what we've heard here.
Maybe, but like, it just kind of want to like the gritty comb that, like, you're like, I should wash this, but there it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a little dandruff buildup. And just like digging into a Panera salad like that. Absolutely. Like, you can't vote for someone like that.
But how do we know it's not so there are different kinds of combs, as we are both aware. There's the comb that has many bristles, and that is kind of a rectangular shape. There's also the fork comb that's a little bit broader, and then it's pointier. And we don't know which one she was using. That latter one is a bit more acceptable, I would say. For sure.
Yeah. Is
like
it for getting out little knots?
Yes.
Like, what are we talking about?
The pick one, like the pick.
Yes.
Yes. So that could be, I would give her a pass on that. If she's out of a fork and it's just one of those pick things, she washes it off first. She can survive that. I don't know if she can survive the pudding fingers thing, or DeSantis should. It's such a Seinfeld episode. But he ate pudding with his fingers.
Yeah. With his fingers. How many fingers? 3. Interesting choice. You'd think one. One is enough.
If he's gonna be a sloppy boy, just do what everybody else does and like lick it from
straight up. Shovel that into your gullet, Meatball Ron. Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Yeah, just push the bottom of the snack pack.
Yes,
that's more civilized.
Trump's like, the disgusting stuff I eat's the disgusting stuff you guys eat.
At least I don't touch it.
Yeah, I go to McDonald's. I know the whole menu from most disgusting to least, and you can relate to that as opposed to pudding fingers over here. Who eats pudding as an adult anyway?
I mean, this is all like hearsay, so I feel like we're also going to see a little bit of there's going to be a Trump version from the DeSantis PAC. It's going to have like a little toadstool surrounded by, some hairs that look like they belong to a Yeti. And it'll just be like, this fungi grows in the dankest places. Do you want it? Do you want it on your plate?
Trump apparently has a mushroom penis. Do you want that back in the White House?
Oh my God.
Vote DeSantis. You can't vote for a mushroom dick. No, seriously.
I mean, he doesn't have the stones to do that. That's the thing.
No, very respectfully, sir. She did say that you had a mushroom penis.
Very, very respectfully, good President Trump, you have a chode.
Yeah. And then
never thought I'd say that.
And Pence is gonna have to like verify like on the stage, right on the debate stage. It's like, I've heard it is quite chode like.
Yeah.
I've seen it before.
Yes, that was at a tough angle because when I was licking his bare feet to kiss them. But